Thanks. I serve on staff at First Christian Church in Burlington, in the southeast part of our state. I'm far away from here in kind of the southeast part of our wonderful region. And so the planning committee for this asked me to talk about things that we did kind of before the pandemic and throughout the pandemic and even kind of these post-pandemic months to engage the work of our elders for our church. We know that the role of teaching and preaching and pastoral care doesn't just lie within our pastors, but we know that Ephesians 4 says that we're called to equip the saints for the work of ministry. And so all of us together, whatever our gifts are, we're called to serve Christ through our church and through all of our lives. And so the elders are the spiritual leaders of our church, as I trust that they are in yours as well. And in non-pandemic days, our elders would visit the care center on a monthly basis. They would go and take homebound communion. They would even go by and visit folks in the hospitals on Fridays and also on Saturdays. And so in the pre-pandemic time, our elders were out and about and taking communion and seeing folks. And they loved and felt called to go and serve people wherever they were, in the care centers and in the hospitals and in their homes. Of course, when the pandemic happened, all that stopped. And when we first got together with our elders, meeting on Zoom, there was this kind of sense of, now what are we supposed to do? We're so used to being out and about and doing things, and now we can't do any of that. And even those of us who are pastors on staff, we couldn't do that either. And so to provide another level of pastoral care beyond just our pastoral staff, we decided to divide up our church directory by letter. It wasn't really kind of too complicated or rocket science, but each elder got a letter or two, and we simply asked them to call everybody that is in your letter, or to send a card, or once we came back into church, to kind of stop them as they came into worship and say, "Hi, I'm your elder shepherd. I'm praying for you, and if there are things that I can do for you, please reach out to me." And so we divide up all the letters, and we have 12 elders who are serving on a regular basis. And so we gave a bunch to them, and we had some extras, and so we gave them to some of our sabbatical elders who were no longer serving in that little 3-year cycle. But we said, just reach out, provide another little level of blanket care to our folks in our church, to let them know that the church is still thinking about them, that we miss them if they have not been here in a while, but let them know that they are not forgotten. And so it was really great, and sometimes our elders would send out a whole bunch of cards to everybody in the M's and the N's and the O's and the P's, and sometimes they would get a note back saying, thanks so much for being my elder shepherd, but every once in a while it would be radio silence, and they wouldn't hear anything from anybody, and we said, that's okay, at least that you sent them out and they received it, and they may not know exactly who you are because you go to a different service than them, but at least a contact has been made. And so we said, keep on sending them. And so over time, a relationship has hopefully been built. In these past pandemic times, or kind of wherever we are throughout the pandemic right now, we have said that you don't have to make your contact with your letter all the time, but our goal is that once a quarter, so 4 times a year, is make some kind of contact, to reach out and to kind of share a good word, and to let our folks know that the church is still caring for you. And so we've kept this up even as our care centers and hospitals have opened back up, and our elders are now busy as can be and taking communion and going to see folks all the time. It's another little kind of part on their job description that we asked them to serve as an elder, but they've done it with joy, and they have really appreciated reaching out and caring for our folks. I mean, of course, we know that the church is all about relationships and about caring for people and seeing each other in worship or in classes or in Sunday schools. And even through the pandemic of being primarily online and then in this kind of hybrid type of situation, it is good for elders to serve because they love to be a part of the whole ministry of who we are as a people of faith together. So there you go. Thanks so much.